Number 5 on our top 10 list, you have to let your people lead in their area, even if you don't agree with where they are going. Okay, part of empowering them is knowing that sometimes they're going to make a different decision than what you would have done if you were in their position. But you have got to resist the urge to push them back into what you would do. That is what micromanaging looks like. Ask them some clarifying questions. And I'm not saying that you need to send them down a dark road that is obviously, based on all objective counts, going to end in failure. But ask them some clarifying questions to make sure they've thought it through. Put it on them. What could go wrong here? What could go right? What are the obstacles that could get in your way? What other things do you need to think about? Ask them some questions to see if they've thought it through. Guess what, guys? You might find out that they really have thought this through. And they're approaching it in a way that is different than what you would do, but you're basing that notion on a past experience you had that may or may not be applicable to the current situation that you're in. Just because something didn't work out 5 years ago, when it was applied in a different circumstance, does not mean it won't work today. Sometimes our experiences are our own worst enemy. Okay, whereas someone with more of a beginner's mindset can come in and they're not hampered by those past experiences. So they can take a fresh look at this and say, this might work. At the end of the day, there is always more than one way to meet a goal. 5 plus 5 equals 10. So does 7 plus 3. So does 8 plus 2. So does 100 minus 90. So does 5 times 2. Right? There are millions of different ways to get to the same point. But if you don't allow people to experiment and try them out while providing them with that structure that makes sure they've thought it through, they have the support they need, they really don't have anything glaring that's going to get in their way, you've done your job if you've done that. And then just let them go and try it out and see what happens. You might end up being surprised, and wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be a triumph if they succeeded in a way that you didn't think was possible? That's just new information about what works. Okay, so don't let your own ego get in the way here. You have to detach from what you've done before and let them go and try new things when you've made sure that they've thought it through. It's not just on a whim.